My child, you didn't arrive here by mistake. You didn't scroll by and randomly stop on this message. I pulled you here, gently, intentionally, because I know exactly what's been happening in your heart. There's a fire inside of you, a feeling that keeps showing up in moments of silence, late at night when no one is watching, in conversations that cross lines too quickly, in situations that seem harmless but feel spiritually heavy. That feeling, that desire, is real, and I know it because I created it. Sexual desire isn't sinful by itself. It was meant to be a blessing. But outside of my plan, it becomes a trap that so many fall into without realizing the cost. Desire, when it is not guarded, can make you give pieces of yourself to someone who doesn't know how to value you. It can convince you to trade your peace for a moment of attention. It can whisper lies that sound like love, but lead you into deep confusion and pain. That's why I brought you here today. Because what you're dealing with is not just temptation, it is a spiritual test. A final test that reveals what you believe about yourself, about me, and about what real love is supposed to look like. I want you to pause now and write in the comments, "Lord, teach me how to guard my heart and body." Say it, type it, let it be your confession, let it be your beginning, because when you write it, you speak it. And when you speak it, healing begins. You're not weak because you feel desire. You're human. But you must understand, not everyone you feel drawn to is a person I've chosen for you. Not every connection is a confirmation. Some are distractions, some are delays, some are spiritual battles in disguise. This message is your wake-up call. I'm not here to punish you. I'm here to protect you. Because the next step you take with your body will shape the direction of your spirit. And before you give your body to someone else, you need to know whether they carry your future or your fall. This is your moment. Listen closely. I'm speaking not just to your ears, but to your soul. Desire, the gift that can destroy. My beloved child, let me tell you a truth many don't understand. Desire by itself is not evil. It is not something dirty or shameful. It is a gift given by me. I placed desire inside of you so that you could form deep bonds in marriage, so that you could feel close, safe, and understood, so that you could create life and experience unity that reflects my love. But every gift I give comes with instruction. Every blessing I send has boundaries. And when those boundaries are broken, the gift begins to hurt instead of heal. Desire becomes dangerous when it starts leading you instead of you leading it. When you follow feelings instead of my voice. When you give in to urges without considering the spiritual weight behind them. You've heard the world say, follow your heart, but I say, guard it, because a heart that follows flesh will end up broken, confused, empty, and used. There's a sacred connection between your body and your soul. They are not separate. When you let someone into your body, they touch more than skin, they touch spirit. And if that person wasn't sent by me, they leave behind a wound that no physical pleasure can heal. That's why it hurts later. That's why you feel hollow afterward. Because your body was trying to do something your spirit never agreed to. When you cross those lines with the wrong person, even if they seem sweet, even if you feel close, something inside of you changes. It's like a tear in the fabric of your soul. Not a cut you can see with your eyes, but one you feel in the quiet moments. When the noise stops, and all you're left with is the echo of what you gave away. You are not just flesh and bones. You are my masterpiece. I designed your body to carry purpose. It is not a playground for passing pleasures. It is a temple, holy, intentional, sacred. Not everyone should have access to that sacred space. Not everyone deserves to know your vulnerability. Not everyone can be trusted with your intimacy. There are people who will touch your body, but have no respect for your soul. There are people who will say the right words, but carry the wrong spirit. The enemy smiles when he sees my children giving away what was meant to be guarded. He watches as you confuse lust for love and thinks they've forgotten who they are. But I haven't forgotten. I know exactly what I placed inside of you. I know the treasure you carry, and I know how easily it can be stolen when you forget that your worth is not found in someone's arms, but in mine. So hear me clearly now. I made you valuable. I made your desires meaningful. But when they escape the boundaries I've set, they don't just burn bridges, they burn blessings. You're not just protecting your body when you wait, you're protecting your future. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting the love I have already prepared for you, the one that won't require you to lose yourself to feel desired. Remember this, my child. What I consecrate, I also protect. What I set apart, I will honor, but only if you treat it as sacred, just like I do. The counterfeit connection. Listen to me, my child. Not everyone who makes your heart race was sent to walk beside you. Some people are good at mimicking love, but have no intention of protecting your heart. They know what to say. They know how to look at you. They know how to make you feel seen, admired, even wanted. But I see deeper than smiles and compliments. I see motives. I see intention. I see the truth. Not every person who lights your fire was sent to feed your soul. Some were sent to take what doesn't belong to them. And some were allowed into your life to test your discernment, not your emotions. The enemy doesn't always come to you looking evil. He doesn't always bring fear. Sometimes he comes dressed in everything you thought you wanted: charm, attraction, connection. He listens to your prayers, not to answer them, but to counterfeit them. You've cried out for love, and the enemy answered with lust, disguised as loyalty. You asked for comfort, and he sent someone who used your vulnerability as an open door. And now you're standing there confused, because it all feels real, but something feels wrong. You see, feelings can lie. They can make you crave what's not good for you. And when you start confusing attention for love, you open the door to deception. You keep asking me, but God, it feels right. They care about me. They want me. They're here for me. And I gently whisper back, it may feel good, but it isn't holy. There is a difference between what feels natural and what is spiritually safe. There is a difference between emotional chemistry and divine calling. Just because your body responds doesn't mean your soul is at peace. Beware of the one who desires your body but has no vision for your future. Beware of the one who compliments your beauty but never nurtures your spirit. Beware of the one who touches your emotions but never covers you in prayer. They are not loving you. They are using you to fill an emptiness they never took to me. I did not design intimacy to leave you broken afterward. I did not create closeness so you could carry guilt once it's over. That is not my plan for you. I designed love to heal, not confuse. I designed touch to affirm, not damage. I designed sex to bring two people into covenant, not chaos. If someone can enjoy your body but can't commit to your soul, if they disappear when things get serious, if they pull you away from me instead of pushing you closer to me, that is not your partner. That is your test. And every time you choose to ignore the check in your spirit, you give them access to places that were meant to be locked until love arrives. You wonder why your peace feels disturbed, why you feel emotionally drained, why it gets harder to pray, harder to think clearly, harder to feel joy. It's because you've invited someone temporary into a space reserved for someone eternal. You've allowed someone to treat what's sacred like it's casual. My child, stop calling it love when it leaves you empty. Stop defending a connection that keeps making you compromise who you are. Stop mistaking the counterfeit for the covenant. The one I have for you will not tempt you to give up your standards. They will protect them. They will honor your purity. They will fight with you for righteousness. They will carry your purpose, not just your passion. I want more for you than hot emotions and cold mornings after. I want you to wake up with joy, not regret. I want your body to feel safe, not ashamed. I want your soul to know peace, not confusion. So if you must beg them to see your worth, if you have to compromise to keep their attention, if you feel drained instead of covered, that is not love. That is a counterfeit connection, and it is time to let it go, the moment before you fall. My precious child, before every fall, there is a moment, a second of stillness, a breath you hesitate to take, a voice inside that grows quiet but not silent. That moment, the one you try to ignore, is me. It is my spirit, whispering, warning, reaching. You feel it as a tightness in your chest, a sudden uneasiness in your thoughts. Your heart beats faster, your hands shake slightly, and something tells you, wait, don't go further. That is not anxiety. That is not fear. That is me, trying to rescue you before the damage is done. But when you push past that moment, when you convince yourself that what you want is more important than what I'm saying, you step over a line I tried to keep you from crossing. That still, small voice, it's not just your conscience. It's my protection. Because I see what's ahead. I see the pain hiding behind the pleasure. I see the regret waiting on the other side of that door. I see the tear in your spirit before it begins to rip. And yet I don't shout, I don't force, I simply whisper, because love does not control. But know this, every time you silence that whisper, you also silence your safety. You tell yourself, we're in love. But I ask you gently, did I ordain it? Because love that pulls you away from me isn't love. It's a trap dressed in affection. You say, but it feels so right. And I ask, then why do you feel guilty afterward? Love doesn't leave you wondering if you've disappointed me. It doesn't make you hide. It doesn't make you lie. It doesn't require you to go against your own values to keep someone interested. If you have to delete messages, if you have to look over your shoulder, if you feel like you can't tell anyone what you're doing, then it's not love. It's a secret sin, and secret sin always leads to silent suffering. Let me tell you what real love looks like. It brings peace, not pressure. It builds. It doesn't break. It aligns with my will, not against it. It holds your hand and says, let's do this God's way. You're calling it a mistake, but it keeps happening. You say you're trying, but you keep making space for the same temptation. It's not weakness anymore. It's disobedience. And I don't say that to shame you. I say it to wake you up. You are stronger than you think, because I live inside of you. But every time you ignore my spirit, you make it harder to hear me the next time. So listen, before you undress your body, undress your heart in my presence. Before you give away your intimacy, give me your attention. Before you fall, remember the moment. Remember the whisper. Remember the warning. Because I never let you fall without first giving you a moment to stop, a moment to turn around, a moment to choose holiness over habit, a moment to choose purpose over pleasure. You don't need to prove your love by crossing boundaries. You prove your love by obeying me, even when it's hard. So the next time your heart starts racing, the next time the room gets quiet, the next time the thought enters, should I do this? Let that be your moment. Let that be your pause. Let that be the space where you let me speak and you choose to listen. When you share too much, you lose too much. My child, listen carefully. There is a weight to every connection you make with your body. It's not just physical, it's not just momentary. There's a spiritual cost attached to every person you give yourself to. And what the world calls casual, I call covenant violation. You were never meant to share what is sacred with someone who is temporary. You were never designed to open the deepest parts of yourself to someone who does not carry the responsibility to protect what they've touched. When you give your body to someone out of alignment with me, you give away more than your time. You give away pieces of your identity, your energy, your clarity. And over time, those pieces begin to fade. And you don't even realize it until you feel lost. That emptiness you carry after it's done, that quiet sadness you feel deep down, that confusion that lingers in your thoughts, that's the after effect of giving something eternal to someone who only wanted something temporary. You think you've moved on, but your mind keeps returning to them. You try to forget, but something about them stays. A look, a sound, a memory. That's not just nostalgia, that's residue. You're carrying a trace of a soul that I never called you to join with. And now you ask me, God, why do I feel disconnected? Why do my prayers feel blocked? Why do I feel like I've lost my peace? Let me show you why. Because purity was never just about staying away from sex. It was never just about rules. It was always about power. The power I placed inside of you. The authority I wrapped into your identity. The light I lit within your spirit. And every time you share what's meant to be preserved, that power weakens. That clarity dims. That inner confidence begins to break. You were created to give and receive love. Not to be drained by connections that never had your soul in mind. Some people were never strong enough to carry the depth of your heart, yet you gave them access anyway. And they left you bruised, wondering why you feel distant, not just from me, but from yourself. You thought it was just a moment. You thought it was just affection. But it was much more. It was an exchange. Because with every touch, there is a transfer. With every embrace, there is a spiritual bridge. With every secret encounter, a tie is formed. Even if you try to forget it later. You may feel broken now. You may feel like something inside you cracked wide open. And that's because your body wasn't just touched, your soul was impacted. And I never designed you to carry that weight alone. You were meant to be covered. You were meant to be honored. You were meant to be given, not taken. And only to someone who values the price of what they're receiving. So when you share too much with someone who isn't equipped to love you in spirit, you lose more than you thought you would. You lose time, you lose focus, you lose the sense of purpose that once made you walk with confidence. But I need you to know this too, my child. What's been lost can be restored. What's been broken can be healed. But it begins with surrender, with bringing all those broken pieces back to me. Stop blaming yourself. Stop pretending it didn't hurt. Stop numbing the ache with more moments that only make the wound deeper. Come back. Come home. Bring me the pain. Bring me the guilt. Let me clean off the residue they left behind. Let me show you how powerful your purity truly is and how sacred your soul still remains. Because even though you shared too much, I still have more to give. And I still have someone worth waiting for. Someone who will never ask for your body without committing to your heart first. The protection in my boundaries. My child, you've looked at my boundaries like they are walls meant to trap you. But that's not the truth. They are not prisons. They are protections. They are not chains. They are shields. I did not create rules to steal your joy. I gave you wisdom to save your life. When I say wait, it's not because I want to withhold love from you. It's because I know what love looks like when it's pure, peaceful, and aligned with purpose. And I want you to have that kind of love, not the version the world offers you in a rush. You call it restriction. I call it covering. You see it as limitation, but I see it as love. There are wolves out there, people who wear kindness like a mask, people who enter your life to take, not give, people who seem sweet, but only want to devour what's sacred. My boundaries are the gates I build to keep those wolves away from what is royal, and that includes you. I placed purpose inside your body. I made your heart a home for truth and your soul a light for others to see. I did not design you to be handed from one person to another like something common. You are royalty, and royalty doesn't throw its treasures into the streets. Royalty guards its inheritance, and I want you to guard what I've placed inside you. When I tell you to wait until marriage, I'm not being harsh. I'm being wise. Because real intimacy, the kind that heals, lifts, and binds souls together, only thrives in a covenant where there is safety, surrender, and divine support. Outside of marriage, desire becomes unstable. It becomes like fire set loose. It burns anything it touches. But within the fireplace of covenant, that fire warms your soul, not wounds it. You say, but everyone else is doing it. I say, you are not everyone else. You were set apart. You were called for more. And if you live like the world, you'll miss the blessings I've reserved for those who wait on me. My boundaries are not there to embarrass you. They are not there to make you feel unloved or unwanted. They are there to prepare you, because what's coming is bigger than anything you've experienced. You think you're missing out by saying no, but what you're really doing is dodging destruction. You're avoiding the pain that others hide. You're skipping the heartbreak that follows when you give your body to someone who has no intention of loving your soul. I never meant for you to carry guilt after intimacy. I never meant for you to question your worth after being touched. I never meant for you to sit in silence, wondering if what happened ruined your future. Purity isn't punishment, it's protection. It's me building a shelter around your purpose so that when the right one arrives, you're whole, not wounded, strong, not scarred, confident, not confused. And when that person comes, the one I designed to walk beside you in purpose and love, you will be grateful that you waited, grateful that you trusted me, grateful that my boundaries built a foundation for something real. So no, you are not missing out. What you're missing are the traps. The traps I dismantled, the people I removed, the doors I closed, the heartbreaks I blocked, all because you chose to obey when it wasn't easy. My boundaries are the evidence of my love, and those who honor them will never be left with regret. The road to redemption. My child, to the one who already crossed the line, to the one carrying guilt in secret, to the one who feels dirty, unworthy, and far from me. I need you to hear this clearly. I'm not done with you. You didn't lose my love when you made that mistake. You didn't disqualify yourself from my purpose. You didn't throw away your future. Shame wants you to stay hidden. Shame wants you to cover yourself in silence and pretend you're beyond saving. But I say to you, come home. You can't out-sin my mercy. There's no distance you can run that my grace won't chase. There's no moment in your past that my forgiveness cannot reach. Yes, I saw what happened. Yes, I know what you did. But I also see who you are and who you still can become in me. You are not damaged goods. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. But you must be honest. You must stop calling it love if it hurt you. You must stop protecting what has only been draining you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. There's a difference between love and attachment. And too many times, you gave your body hoping someone would love your soul, but they never had the capacity to carry your heart. You told yourself it would get better. You told yourself they would change. You told yourself it was just one time. But now, you feel empty, distant, and broken. That's not how I designed love. I never created intimacy to be paid for with your peace. But even in the middle of your regret, even when you feel like there's nothing left to bring me, I still want you. I still choose you, and I still call you by name. You are not disqualified because of your past. Purity was never just about never failing. Purity is about the next choice you make. It's about what you choose now, after the mistake. And today, you can begin again. You don't need to carry the weight any longer. You don't need to punish yourself for what happened. I'm not interested in condemning you. I'm interested in restoring you. But you can't move forward if you keep defending the very thing that broke you. Let go of the idea that what you had was love. Love doesn't leave you in pieces. Love doesn't pull you away from me. Love doesn't silence your spirit. Let the people who touched your body but never saw your soul fade away. Let them go. You don't need to keep memories that keep reopening your wounds. It's time to release the false intimacy, the connection that wasn't built on truth, the feeling that pretended to be love but left you emptier than before. Because until you let it die, divine love can't take its place. You're still holding space in your heart for something that was never meant to stay. And I want to fill that space with something greater, something healing, something real. But you have to make room for it. You don't have to earn your way back to me. You just have to return. One prayer, one surrender, one honest conversation with me. That's where redemption begins. I see every tear you cried. I feel the ache in your chest. And I'm not looking at your failure. I'm looking at your willingness to come home. I will take your mess and turn it into a message. I will take your pain and turn it into power. I will take your brokenness and make it beautiful again. So stand up, wipe the tears, walk away from the person, the place, the habit, whatever has been robbing your light. This is your turning point. This is the road to redemption, and I'm walking it with you. The real thing is worth waiting for. My beloved child, this right here, this is your final test. Not a punishment, not a curse, but a test of your strength, your obedience, your trust in me. I'm not asking you to wait because I want you to suffer. I'm asking you to wait because what I have for you is too valuable to be rushed. I've been working behind the scenes, preparing someone who doesn't just want your beauty, but someone who will honor your soul. The one I've chosen for you will not pressure you. They won't play games with your emotions. They won't pull you away from your purpose. They won't make you question your worth or your walk with me. They will see your value. They will understand your calling. And they will protect the light inside of you, not dim it, not abuse it, not use it for selfish pleasure. The real thing, the relationship I've ordained, the love I've written into your destiny, it's worth the wait. Because when that moment comes, when you finally meet the one I handpicked just for you, you'll look back and thank me for every door I closed, for every night you cried, for every temptation I helped you walk away from. You'll be glad you didn't give your best to someone who didn't know what to do with it. You'll be glad you didn't let loneliness drive you into a connection that would have broken you. You'll be glad you trusted me, even when it was hard, even when it was lonely, even when it didn't make sense. Because love, real love, doesn't tempt you to fall, it lifts you to rise. It doesn't pull you into sin, it walks beside you in holiness. It doesn't rush your boundaries, it protects them with honor. That's the kind of love I want for you. That's the kind of love I've been preparing you for. That's why I've been asking you to let go of the counterfeit. That's why I've been teaching you how to wait with purpose, not with fear, not with bitterness, but with hope. Your desire is not a mistake. It is sacred. It's a sign of what you're made for: intimacy, unity, connection. But I don't want you to give that sacred part of yourself to someone who only sees it as something to use and leave behind. Don't trade it for attention. Don't trade it for empty promises. Don't trade it for a touch that leaves you torn. What I have for you will not require you to lower your standards. It won't ask you to ignore my voice. It won't leave you questioning if you've lost me in the process. So be still, stay faithful, walk in purity, not because it's easy, but because it's holy, and because the one I'm bringing to you is walking in the same direction. You're not waiting alone, you're waiting with me, and what's coming will be worth every second of obedience. Father, for the one listening right now, the one who's been struggling in silence, the one torn between the desires of the flesh and the calling of the Spirit, the one who wants to please you but feels weak in the waiting, wrap them in your mercy. Hold them close in this moment. Let them feel your love fall on them like fresh rain. Let them know they don't have to pretend anymore. You see it all, the battles, the mistakes, the regrets, and still you reach for them with open arms. For the one who feels stuck in shame, cover them with your grace. Let your forgiveness wash over the places where guilt has been hiding. Let your truth speak louder than the lies that say they are ruined or unworthy. For the one who gave too much, too soon, touch the places in them that were handled without care. Bring healing to what was broken. Restore what was taken too early. Make them whole again. For the one who feels like they're not enough, remind them that they are not forgotten. They are not left behind. They are not defined by their past. They are covered by your promise. Whisper to their heart, "You are still mine." Let that truth drown out the noise of fear, confusion, and condemnation. Let them walk out of this moment with new strength, knowing that purity is still possible, that redemption is real, and that divine love, holy, healing, and heaven-sent, is still waiting on the other side of their obedience. Father, prepare their heart for the one you have chosen, someone who will honor them, not use them, someone who will protect their purity, not pressure them to lose it, someone who will walk with them in covenant, not leave them in confusion. Renew their strength, refresh their faith, revive their hope. Let them feel clean again. Let them believe again. Let them wait well, because what you have prepared for them is worth it. In Jesus' name, amen.